Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of Married at First Sight. This is season 13, episode 8, and it was titled Family and Friends, Oh My. Alright, y'all, so before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, y'all, let's just jump into it. This episode took place between days 11 and 14, I believe. I think it was the last day was 14. I'm not sure if it was 15 or 14 because I couldn't see the screen, and I have a sick cat, so we had to take her to the vet today. She had like a little minor surgery on her eyeball, so she was wilding out because, you know, if you ever had a pet or you ever have a pet and they got to wear them combs, child, she was flipping out. So she was going crazy, and then I got two other cases. They was looking at her like, what the hell is going on? So then she just kept running into stuff, and then she was trying to get the cone off, and then she was half sedated, half awake. So then it was just a hot ass mess. So I had to keep rewinding, and then I missed a couple things. So please bear with me, child. Please bear with me. There was a lot going on while I was trying to watch and review the show. But for the most part, I think I got everything. But if I missed something, please forgive me. Because like I said, I had y'all. It was a mess. But anyway, let's jump into this recap review. So, you know, they show everybody waking up and stuff like that. We see Rachel, she getting her butt cracked on, going to the gym because she says she working out in the morning times now because she wants to spend time with her husband in the evening. Johnny and Bao, they're doing good. He's sleeping in the bed with her. Bret and Ryan had some feuding dogs, but they ended up fixing that. And we saw Gail, he popped up on Marilyn. I don't know where she was, but it looked like she was just outside, like chilling or something. Maybe she was at their complex, I'm not sure. But he did pull up in the fire truck to, you know, say hey to her. And then we saw Zach. He was kind of like alone opening up the curtains and stuff. So I was like, or the blinds, I should say. So I was like, what's up with that? We're going to start with Rachel and Jose because that's how they started it off. Yeah, I'll start it. Well, okay. So before I start, because I was thinking, because they did have a meetup, you know, like a group meetup, and the guys met up with the girls. The girls met up with the girls and the guys met up with the guys, and they had like some conversation. Because in this episode, they were going to meet the family and friends, you know, had their little housewarming and stuff like that. So in between the couples, they had that meetup before they went to the housewarming and stuff like that. And child, it was a mess. Okay, we're going to talk about it more so when I get to Johnny and Bao, because for real, they are the ones who really had like the biggest situation, the biggest conversation during that meetup. So I'll talk about it when I get there. So we see Rachel and Jose. They had a flower shop, and Jose is so excited about housewarming day. He excited about having people come over. They want to pick plants for the house and stuff like that. She wanted to pick like different flowers and stuff. He was like, oh, no, baby. I'm thinking maybe we can get some cilantro. Maybe we can get this, or you can make some salsa and we could do that. So he already in his mind already picked out the flowers, but I guess he didn't discuss it with her because she like, oh, okay. She had other plants in mind. So he go over there to the herbs and stuff, and he trying to pick out stuff. And every time she go to pick something, he was like, no. What about this? And she like, oh, okay, we could do that. And so then he like, oh, what about lettuce? You ever had lettuce and stuff? So she was like, no, but I mean, let's try it. So she was like more so down for whatever he picked out. But when she picked out stuff, he was just like, no. He like shut it down. So I was like, okay, he controlling in that part right there. She's not really like a green thumb or anything like that. So she was kind of like, well, he'll be taking care of the flowers and stuff, and I'll set an alarm to remind me to water the flowers. And then she was like, cause you know, my friend gave me like a succulent and I ended up killing that. I said, girl, me too. Me too, girl. I'm so surprised that my goddamn bamboo from IKEA has grown. You know, if you ever go to IKEA, they give you the little bamboo thing that start like this. Mine is like this tall. I'm surprised that thing has grown the way it has. The only reason why is probably because my daughter be helping me put more water in that sucker. Because if not, child, I can't. I didn't kill the succulent. How, Sway? How? But whatever. So I felt her pain in that moment. And at the meetup, Jose really was basically like he's enjoying his wife. Rachel had said that she was enjoying Jose, so they really didn't have too much to contribute to the whole meetup. Like I said, Jose is excited. The friends and family started to arrive. I think was that his mom or his stepmom? I think that was his that was his stepmom. What was that? Rachel's stepmom. I can't remember, because like I said, the cat was running around and I couldn't catch it, and I kept rewinding and then I kept missing stuff. So I think that was either his stepmom or her stepmom, somebody's stepmama, and most of it was friends or whatever. So she was basically saying how she want to go to Europe and stuff, and she gonna take him to Europe whether he like it or not. And he basically like, well, I don't want her to feel like she gotta keep up with the Joneses and she gotta do what social media tells her to do or do what social media says and yada yada yada. And she was just like, well, that's not what I want to do. Like, she been wanting to go to Europe for a long time or whatever. So he was also he also was talking about how he has planned for a wedding, and that's why he got his money together. We have heard the story, child. So he was saying he want to have two bank accounts come to one, and then set up for like after they pay everything, and then if they got money left over, then they can put that to a trip. But if they don't got nothing left over, then oh well, no trip or whatever. So it makes sense. However, that's not how Rachel wants to do stuff. She wants to still travel and still do stuff. And they even talked to Pastor Kyle, and it was like, don't stunt me or whatever. But she still feels like he's stunting her growth and stuff. And then, child, why he go pull out the whiteboard? I said he gotta pull this whiteboard out each and every time. So I think it was one of her friends or something was like, oh yeah, that's a good plan. He got a good plan. You got a good setup. You got a good, what you talking about is real good and stuff. But Rachel was just looking like, the ladies go into the bedroom and the guys go somewhere. I don't know where they went, child, but they went somewhere. But whoever that was, the stepmom or whoever she was, she told us that, you know, Jose has to cool down on all of that saving. He has to cool down a little bit with the money, the budget and finance and stuff, and not be so pushy and so controlling over it, because that's basically going to push her away because they're finance stuff. And then inside the room, she told Rachel not to let up her control, like still have some type of control in the relationship, because she already seeing that he being real controlling and trying to be restrictive. And Rachel said that her fear is him restricting her, and that his fear is that she just gonna blow up all the money. So they gotta kind of communicate and figure it out, because she doesn't like how he's being real dismissive to her, and then he not really feeling like he being dismissive. He thinking, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be as a husband. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be a provider, yada yada yada. But he clashing with her right now, and that's gonna break up their relationship. So they need to figure it out. That was pretty much it for them. Michaela and Zach. Let me get something to drink. Y'all, something wrong with Michaela. I was trying to like her and everything like that, but something ain't right with her. I don't know what it is, but she needs some therapy to kind of work out whatever is causing all this in her. Like, this ain't right, honey. And I don't watch the Unfiltered, but in a group that I'm in, somebody mentioned that said on Unfiltered that was just a category 3 Michaela, when she broke the poor Clorox wipes and stuff like that. That was just a category 3. And she thought that was cute. Like, that's not cute, boo-boo. Like, all that aggression, all that anger, all that extra stuff that you doing just ain't right. Like, no, that's not cute. And it's putting a wedge between her and Zach, because Zach is not confrontational and he don't know how to respond to what she doing. So, like I said, when they opened up the show, he was opening up blinds by himself, and you didn't see Michaela anywhere in that area. Whereas with the other couples waking up and stuff, they was together. But with them two, it was just him opening up the blinds. And yeah, maybe she was sleeping in or whatever, but it didn't seem like that. So, he says, you know, they have some issues that they dealing with, so he just wants to talk to his friend to kind of get, you know, some stuff off his chest. So he's talking to Jerron, and he was saying, like, he sees some red flags and it's making him nervous. It's the way she handles things. So he tells he tells him how Michaela acted when he left, and how he didn't tell her that he was leaving because the dogs was fighting. And we saw like a clip where the two dogs, I think her dog was pooping or peeing on the floor or something like that. And he was like, you know, having an issue, you know, a deal with the dogs or whatever. So he tells us how he left, and, you know, we saw how it played out and stuff. So he just telling Jerron what happened. He was saying, like, next thing I know, she had moved all her stuff out. And so Jerron looking like, the fuck, what happened? So, he was saying, like, you know, then Pastor Cal came, we talked it out, yada, yada, yada. And then next thing I know, she hits me up like, well, I'm not doing the housewarming because I'm just not doing it or whatever. So he like, well, where the hell that come from that she just canceled the plans and stuff? It wasn't like no communication, like, look here, babe, I'm not feeling up to this housewarming. We had an issue. Now I'm just feeling kind of like, I don't know. So, like, I really don't, you know, feel comfortable. Like, what do you think? Should we still have a housewarming? Should we can't? Like, something. It wasn't no communication. She was just like, point blank, period, I'm not doing it. So, it's kind of like, what? So, he like, I just don't know how to deal with that. So, the friend was like, well, you always going to have some type of conflict when you putting two people together, either if it's two strangers or two people that you know each other, and you trying to make it into one accord, or bring both of them people together. You're going to have some little conflicts and some little differences and stuff like that. It's on how you or in disagreements, it's on how you come together and talk it out and communicate with each other or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I understand it, but I don't, you know, I'm not a confrontational person, and I've had this in previous relationships, and this is what made me kind of, you know, go the other way. So the friend tells us that Zach wants like this fairy tale, and when his expectations is not meeting reality, he's having a hard time with it or whatever. And he has to kind of be patient and has to look at what it is at this point and not what he expects it to be, or this fairy tale. And you can see Zach in the beginning, you can see how he could think it was going to be like this fairy tale. Oh, I'm finally getting married. We're going to have this perfect life. We're going to have this, like, all this stuff. And that's just not how life works. It's just not. So, he don't know how to deal with it. And so his friend just kind of telling him, like, this is, you know, you got to kind of figure out how to work with conflict, communicate, yada, yada, yada. So we see her in this polka dot dress. So this, they had their little meet, the little group meet in between. So again, when she talking to the ladies, she lying. She point blank lying to the ladies. She telling the ladies, like, well, not point blank. She did tell the truth when she said he came home, he is COVID free. So that was truthful. However, she's saying that they all good. They don't have no issues. They doing this and stuff. Like, she point blank lying. And it's like, girl, these are supposed to be like your friends, people that you can talk to and get advice from, because y'all all going through the same thing. But you sit up here lying to these girls and not telling them what's real, because you don't want to put your relationship on Front Street, and you don't want your relationship to seem like it's bad or whatever. If you need advice or something like that, you can ask for advice in a way that you're not bashing your husband or bashing your relationship, but you can still ask for advice. But she's just lying and saying, like, you know, everything fine. I think Zach was basically saying, like, you know, he was telling the truth. And the girls had asked her, did they sleep together? She gonna say no. And then Zach was like, well, Michaela probably gonna kill me for telling y'all this, but we did bow chiki wow wow. And they was like, well, damn, it's only been 2 days. Like, you was on quarantine. He was like, look, I work fast. No, but he was just saying, like, you know, I think he told them before quarantine and stuff, but I'm not sure. But he was just like, oh, well, she gonna probably kill me when she see this, but, you know, I'm being honest with y'all and stuff. And that's pretty much it. He didn't really go into detail, because Johnny was having the most issues, or they didn't show us him going into detail about the relationship. But he did tell the truth and was honest about, you know, them sleeping together, whereas Michaela flat out lied. And I'm like, girl, why? Talking about it's not anybody's business. But you know they're going to ask you that question on the show. So I don't understand why you just can't say yes or no. Like, ain't nobody asking you about no details. Ain't nobody asking you how he put you on the wall, on the floor, on the bed, on the side of the kitchen table. Ain't nobody asking you all that. He's simply asking you yes or no, did y'all smash? Like, what's the problem? Yes, it was good. No, it didn't happen. Like, what's the problem? Like, girl, stop. Anyway, we see her in this little polka dot dress, and I was like, that is a hot mess. And then she had like this heavy makeup. She is really cute. I don't understand why she be putting all that makeup on her face, but she did, and that's what it was. So her two girlfriends come over, and I'm like, what is the temperature in Texas? Because the friend had on this leather dress, and I'm like, I know she hot in that leather. And so the friends come over. She's saying she feeling good that her friends came over now. So they helping her set up for the party and stuff like that. Zach wasn't there. So I'm like, he not there. So like, what's going on? So then he finally arrived with one friend. Or was it two? No, he arrived with one friend, but then more of his friends arrived later on and stuff. So, you know, they talking, they having a good time or whatever. And, she told us that she had to change her heart, and then when she went to sleep, she woke up and felt better, and then decided she wanted to have a housewarming. That's why they having a housewarming and stuff like that. What else? Zach comes, like I said, he came in with his friends, and he's upset because she keep making rash decisions. She keep making all these decisions. I can't talk. She keep making all these decisions, and it's like, you're not communicating with me. Like I said in the beginning, like, you want to cancel the housewarming, you could have talked to me and said, like, you know, this is how I'm feeling, yada, 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 like, should I go? You know, something, but you just made a whole decision, like, I'm not doing it. Like, what? Like, so that didn't bode well with him. So, he went to talk to her friends, and then she went to go talk to, it was Jerron. She went to go talk to Jerron. Because I'm about to say, did she talk to the other guy that was there? But she didn't talk to him. He talked to the friends because he wants to make it work. He wants to figure out why she like this. Is this her usual? Or is this just like, because everything that's going on or whatever? And the friends tell him, like, once she comfortable and stuff, you don't have to kind of worry about her, you know, popping off or making rash decisions or not communicating with you and stuff, because right now it's difficult for her because she's not comfortable or whatever, and this is not her usual. So he like, okay. And he told them, like, what took him over the top was her canceling the housewarming and stuff. And so she talking to Jerron, and she basically saying, like, she's taking accountability for everything. She's saying, like, she didn't put other people's feelings first, and she got to be more considerate of other people's feelings. And she's saying, like, she usually bites her tongue, and then she reacts to stuff. And I think he told her that, you know, Zach has been in a lot of toxic relationships, and, you know, it's been where the person blows up and stuff, and they don't talk, they don't discuss. So what you need to do is communicate, because communication is big. And you need to let him know, like, how you feeling. If you're not feeling good, if you feeling, like, just express yourself. Tell him how you feeling. Because, like, if y'all want to have children, y'all going to have to discuss these things. And she like, yeah. So they both learned a lot from the friends and stuff like that. And let me see. Okay. Because I'm like, what else did I write? So this at the end of the party. So everybody left and stuff like that. So she ends up apologizing to him for her reaction about him leaving and how she blew up, because it was uncalled for. And she even said it was unnecessary, and it was just like, it basically was unnecessary because it did not call, that reaction did not, that situation did not call for that reaction that she gave. So she apologized, and she was saying, and he was saying, like, okay, I appreciate that and stuff. However, you know, like, I'm afraid to tell you how I feel right now because I'm scared that you're going to blow up again or whatever. And she was like, because at first they was talking and it was going good, you know, it was like, okay, peaceful. But when he said that, you could see the wheels in her head ticking, like, what you mean? Like, you scared to tell me what you what you going through? Like, what you mean I'm going to blow up or whatever? So she was like, well, tell me, what's going on. So he was like, well, I had anxiety pulling up to the house. Like, I had more anxiety pulling up to the house today than I did walking down that aisle or whatever. I said, damn, now that's a lot. And then she was like, well, I don't know how to resolve what happened. Like, I apologize to you. I'm trying to fix the issue. Like, I can't fix what happened, but I can tell you today, like, I'm not going to do that going forward or whatever. Like, I don't know how to fix the issue and stuff. And he was like, yeah, okay. But I mean, like, I understand what you're saying, but maybe we don't have to have a resolution to the problem immediately or whatever. So, and he was like, and that's okay. So she like, well, like, what we gonna do? Because like, we married and stuff. And then she started like tearing up or whatever. And she like, I admitted that I apologized. I admitted I was wrong. He was like, what really and gave me anxiety and really like took me over the edge was when you canceled the housewarming or whatever. That really affected me. And she like, well, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that. I didn't know how you felt about that or whatever. And he like, well, that is what it is. And I don't know how to resolve things and stuff like that. And then she was like, well, what we going to do? Like, we married, like, we need to talk this out or whatever. He was like, well, I don't know right now, but are you going to stay here tonight? And she was like, yeah. He was like, well, I can't stay here because I don't feel comfortable or whatever. So then he ended up leaving. I said, what kind of shit? Like, you can't just leave every time something get wrong. Like, you really got to sit down and talk about it. And I guess they don't have no 2 rooms. I guess they only got 1 room because he could have just went to the other room. Like, I don't understand what's going on, child. But they not going to make it. They is not going to make it, y'all. Marilyn and Gail. So, Marilyn and Gail, they started the episode off with their finances and stuff. So Pastor Kyle told them to open up their finances and show each other, what was going on. Basically, what's happened in that situation is Marilyn makes way more than Gail, which we already knew. She has a way bigger savings account than he does. It looked like he wrote down on that paper $3,400, but I don't know. You can kind of tell how somebody write. I was trying to see, but yeah. And then he said like the money, he don't even have a savings in America. He has a savings account in Colombia. Cause he was like, well, after he saw hers, he was like, yeah, that's a good save. That's a good amount. Yeah. He couldn't even get it out. And so then he started stuttering when it came to his savings account, talking about, well, my savings is not even here. I done sent all my stuff to Colombia. And I started when I was like 20 years old or 22 years old or something like that. And then he was like, well, you want to know how much I sent over or how much I got over there? And he was like, well, you know what? How about I just say how much it's worth in America or whatever, because it's more over there. So then he wrote it down and she was just like, okay. Because he was saying like his savings is tied up into his 401k. So his retirement is not even a lot. His savings in Colombia, not even a lot. And for real, he can't even pull. He said he can pull that in case of an emergency or something like that. But she was saying like, so basically we got to start all over. So it's going to take a long time for us to buy a house or whatever like that. We're going to have to basically start over from scratch because he can't touch his savings account. So he basically don't have a savings account. So I was like, well, why did you say that you had money in the case of emergency if you really don't have? I said, boy, child. So at the meetup, I'm trying to see. Oh, he did tell the people that he didn't kiss, that he has not been kissed on the lips yet. And then we found out that Bret ended up betting Ryan. No, yeah, Bret is the girl. Bret ended up betting Ryan that Marilyn would not kiss Gail, so she won $5. And what else happened with not Zach, with Gil? I think that was it. Yeah, that was it for Gil. And Marilyn, she was just basically talking. It wasn't nothing too big. Then back from the meetup, the brunch or whatever like that, she mad at the dog that slobbered and drooled all over the damn floor. Gil ready to gossip. He like, oh, at the meetup, we found out that Johnny and Bao, they not really seeing eye to eye. And it sound like that Johnny just settling for Bao and stuff. And she was like, oh, wow. I said, he is the biggest damn gossip. He is so ready to tell some information about somebody's marriage that ain't doing better than his because he is sinking and he think he's so in love and all this other stuff. Boy, bye. Y'all ain't gonna make it neither. So he ends up getting on the phone, FaceTiming his mom because his mom lives in Colombia. And Mirla was introduced to the mom. He said he talks to his mom about once a week. And so the mom wasn't busy that day. So they FaceTime and stuff. And they had like a real cute conversation. He ended up telling his mama that Mirla was bougie. And Mirla, of course, ain't like that. And she was like, well, when they got off the phone, she was like, well, what you mean I'm bougie? Like, explain. He was like you do the most, like you need the most, whatever. She was like, what you mean the most and stuff? He was like everything. You need the most, like everything or whatever. Like you just extra. I was like, girl, don't act like you don't know. The friends came over. They was asking, you know, like, do they have any fights and stuff? And they was like, no, we haven't had any fights and whatnot. And basically it was just kind of like banter. Like Gail had to put her on Front Street that she had a whole bunch of clothes in her closet. It's like he jealous or something. I don't like it the way I just don't like what he be doing and stuff like that. It's just weird and odd to me because it's like, why you gotta keep putting her business out there? One girl came in there. He was like, well, how many pairs of jeans do you have? And she was like, oh, I got about 9 pairs of jeans. And here go Gil. Oh, she got 10 on one hanger or whatever. I said, like, what is the problem? Like, you upset that she got more clothes than you and she can afford it? Like, what is the problem with Gil? Because Gil right now is getting on my nerves. Then they explain how they did not kiss because one of the friends, I think the friend who called her high maintenance at the wedding, yeah, he was the one who called her high maintenance at the wedding was like, well, how does it feel waking up to your partner every day, showering with your partner every day, and all this other stuff? Because he was trying to low-key get information to see if they had bow chiki wow wow. And she was like, well, we're not going to discuss that. He was like, oh, okay, so that ain't happening. And so then it moved on to why they didn't kiss or if they were going to kiss. And then Gil said, you know, like if the 8 weeks comes up and then she has not kissed me yet, then I'm going to ask for a divorce. And to me, that's putting more pressure on the situation because now you're trying to bribe her into kissing you or guilt her into kissing you so y'all won't get divorced. Like, that just is messed up to me. But they both said that they feel the chemistry and whatnot. But she said that's her norm. And then when he wanted to go talk to her friends, the friend that was her friend for like 18 years, he was like, well, no, I ain't never seen her in no relationship where she exhibited PDA or whatever like that. And Gil was like, damn, that's odd. So this is just her. And so the other friend took Mirla out and was talking to him. And he was saying like, they was asking about money or something. And she was like, well, Gil is not driven by money. I'm driven by money because all the things that we want, a new house, a child, all this stuff, that's going to cost money. So I got to figure out how we going to get this money or whatever like that. Because he's not driven by money. So he don't feel like, oh, well, I need to save this, I need to save that. But I'm thinking, okay, well, I want this house, I want this car, I want this. So I know I need to get that money because that's how I can get those things. So they on two different spectrums. And then also in the kitchen, one of the things came up about her not changing her lifestyle. And that bothered Gil. And Gil was just basically saying like, you know, she said she wasn't going to change her lifestyle for nobody and stuff. And he felt some type of way. And then the friends is saying like, you know, she got to change her lifestyle. You got to come to this and that. Marilyn ain't say not one word. She just kept eating. I was cracking up. And so then the producers asked her, was she changing? She was like, no, not at all. I said, she don't need to. Like, she earned that money. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But she earned that money. She has that money in her savings. She has the right to be like, you know what? I can go buy this. Yes, she needs to talk to her husband. Maybe they need something in the household or whatever. However, she earned it. Like, she earned that money. That's not her fault that Gil can't afford her shoes or her dresses or whatever. And she says she only goes shopping about 2 to 3 times a year. So that's not even a lot that he making it out to be. So he just need to chill. Again, they're not going to make it neither. I don't feel in my heart of hearts that they going to make it. What y'all say? Okay. We going to Bret and Ryan. Bret and Ryan, they really didn't have a too much. She was meeting with her friend from Mimosas, and he was working out with his friend. And he was saying, like, you know, they've been through a lot of high stress situations and stuff like that, but overall, everything is good. He said, like, she just high stress, and they show clips of, you know, the manatee, the plane, all that other stuff, because she hasn't really traveled. She doesn't like adventurous stuff. She doesn't like new things, and child, she just high anxiety. So he's not really used to that. But he said, like, pretty much everything was working out. Bert also said things was good or whatever. And she was just basically telling her friend, like, it was no intimacy, but they were both attracted to each other. So, you know, the attraction is growing. And so, you know, intimacy is sure to come. Bret at the meetup, Bret didn't really say too much. Yeah, no, Bret didn't really say too much. And Ryan ain't really say too much neither. They was just basically talking about the housewarming and stuff. But at the house, Bret gave a toast and stuff, and then they was telling him, you know, like the friends was telling him, you know, like happy wife, happy life. And he was like, well, I keep getting that advice, so I guess I'm going to take it, because my daddy told me that too. And so Bret was just happy, like all the friends and stuff was getting along. And because she was like, well, I want to be around them all the time and stuff. And he was like, no, I don't want to be around them all the time. And she was like, oh, I can understand. So they was having a good time. And Ryan was basically saying, like, they talking a lot, they getting to know each other, they growing, and sometimes they got to stop each other from talking because they just be talking too damn much. And a friend said that he will open up more and he'll be more emotional once, you know, they continue to grow and stuff. Because I think one of the friends was saying, like, well, have you seen his emotional side and stuff, his tender, you know, tender Ryan side? And she was like, well, no, not really, but I can tell that it's there, but I just have not seen it yet. And a friend was just saying, like, you know, just be more open and he'll, you know, reciprocate. And then that was pretty much it for them. If I missed anything with them, that probably was when the cat was acting real wild, because that's all I got for them too. Bao and Johnny, child. It's not going to get. Johnny is going through it. And when I say through it, I mean through it. Johnny is like, he is really... When she said that man was checking stuff off on the box, like, she was not lying, because he wants everything to be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect because nobody is perfect, and he's not even perfect. So I don't understand why he's looking for somebody perfect and he's not even perfect, my G. So I don't understand. But she meeting with her family friend, How, I think that's how you say it, H-U-Y. The friend was worried that she wouldn't want to get married to Johnny because, you know, she knew him or whatever. And she said, like, at the altar when she was walking down, she was like, oh my God, that's Johnny. And like all these things was going through her head, like party man, player, all this stuff. But then she was like, it was like all this negative stuff. So she was trying to push that out her head and you know, try to get to know him or whatever like that. She did say that he was real dismissive of her feelings and stuff like that. And the friend was saying, like, you know, it just takes time, and she'll, you know, they'll warm up to each other, whatever. And she was upset that Johnny took that reset. I said, girl, I was as well, because she was like, I ain't need no effing reset. Child, at the meetup, the guys talking. They talking, they getting to know each other and stuff like that. And they asked Johnny, because you could tell on Johnny's face that he was like about to crack. Like, they was asking him, like, well, is you okay? Like, you all right or whatever? And he was saying, like, he feel like he's still dating a friend. And he feels friendly right now. And they was like, well, did you get friend zone and stuff? And he was like, I don't know. So then they was like, well, are you attracted to her? He was like, somewhat. They was like, well, what you mean somewhat? Like, is it personality? Is it physical? He was like, well, I'm physically attracted to her, but personality wise, I'm just not, or whatever. And they was like, that's okay. Like, you can figure that out and stuff. And then he tells us that he was like, well, you know, I thought I was ready to get married, and when I agreed to get married, but I'm not sure now. Like, and now she's stuck. What did he say? He thought he was ready, but he don't think he is. And now Bao is stuck. What do you say? Bao is effed up because I'm effed up, and now she's stuck with me or whatever. I was just like, what in the world? Child, he started crying outside in the confessional. He looked like he was about to pop. The anxiety looked like that was like through the roof. He's sitting inside, and then he get up and go to the bathroom. Jose go back there. He like, well, you know, we all in this together, man. Let's talk about it and stuff, and like, you know, what's going on and whatever. And then he just started crying. I said, oh my Lord, Johnny. So he crying on Jose's shoulder. I said, Lord have mercy. Johnny is going through it, and Bob was saying like she feel like Johnny works off of a checklist, and like. And it's about overcoming difficulties and struggles to help them get through the relationship. And the guys were saying the same thing to Johnny, and Zach was like, well, what if it just don't work? And they like, yeah, it might not work, but at least you tried to make it work or whatever. So, child, I'm like, Johnny is going through it. If somebody don't get this man a Xanax or something, because he is going through it, child. After the brunch and stuff like that, he tells her that he was focusing on all the negative things. She was saying like she worried about it or whatever, and then they was going, you know, sleep on stuff or whatever. At the luau, this the next day, they having a luau. She like, I'm just going through this to go through this and get this, you know, get this over with. Because she's still like what he said last night. He's thinking about all the negative things. He would have jumped ship and all this other stuff. And now you want me to be all friendly around the friends and family and stuff like that. Like, how I'm supposed to do this? So she's just like, all right, whatever. Let's just do this or whatever. Johnny's saying it's still all of a struggle and stuff. And Bao, like I said, she said they still need to talk about, you know, what was going on, because that conversation last night wasn't sufficient enough, because they just basically went to sleep. They didn't really talk about too much. So she's stressed. Her friend gave him a book on pleasure in women. Bao excited. He kind of weirded out, like, well, why would she give her that book or whatever? Bao go talk to the ladies. She said she 100% in, and she think that Johnny 90% in. Child, Johnny said he was 65% in, and a friend had asked him like, what's holding you up for the other 35%? And I don't know what he said, child, because the cat started doing something, and I tried to rewind and listen to it, and I just couldn't focus. So y'all let me know what he said down there in the comments. And then at the end, they kind of felt a little bit better after the housewarming and stuff like that. But I'm kind of like, y'all is not going to make it. And that was pretty much it for the episode, y'all. Next week look like it's going to be a hot-ass mess. Johnny going to tell Bao something else, and it's going to be... I'm like, just come on. Let's just end it right now. Like, why we got to go through all these motions? Like, you obviously is not attracted to this woman. You obviously don't want to be with this woman. So, like, why we prolonging it? I wish they would just let these people jump ship prior to them having to keep going through these 8 weeks and all this other stuff, because it's like you putting these people through torture. Johnny really looked like he was about to pop, okay? Like literally about to pop. Like he looked like he's about to have a whole panic attack in that damn confessional. And it's like you forcing these people to be together and they don't need to be together. Like Zach, he looked a little stressed and a little, you know, confused and stuff, but it looked like maybe he could kind of turn it around if he is able to forgive or whatever and move forward. But Zach don't look like he the type that's able to forgive and move forward, just based off of what I saw for next week's episode. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I don't have no hope that none of these couples gonna make it. Like zero hope that any of these couples gonna make it. Y'all let me know what y'all predictions are down there in them comments, and y'all again let me know what y'all thought about this episode or last night's episode. All right, y'all, with all that said, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.